different ways.
And it really goes with the whole logo of what LYSSE is about, you know, those great essential pieces that are easy to work back into your everyday life, but you feel terrific, they wash beautifully, you're not going to the dry cleaners. I mean, just practicality with that elevated upscale look.
And you know that we as designers have really thought through those details, really looked at every seam, every detail, every edge to make something that's really gonna be beautiful and elevated for you.
Okay.
So, rest assured. Okay,
my jacket now. I don't know, I don't have it at home, but I'm wearing it right now and I'm so over the moon, crazy in love with this jacket.
I might have to put this on in a second, but let's just...
The colors. This is, they're calling Dusty Peach.
Yep.
The blue that I'm wearing is called an Ultra Marine.
That's the blue that you're wearing is the lunar blue.
Lunar blue.
Think like moon, silvery moon blue, right?
This is the, I get it. That's the ultramarine.
Isn't that the ultra? I think so.
We're gonna double check, but I'm almost positive,
look at these colors, guys. Come on. So what I love about this, machine washable. Machine washable. And why I love that is because that meant I could play with colors, right? I would never dare in a million years in my personal life to have a color suede like this and worry about it and stress over. I wouldn't even set foot out the house. So to have these fun colors in such a luxe, beautiful quality, and Lynn, you know, we created this fabric for leggings. So this is a really nice, sturdy, kind of stretchy faux suede, but it's machine washable, and that finish on it, that face on it, is just gonna give you that real luxe, kind of authentic look.
Okay, and we're just double checked, but yes, you're right. The one I'm wearing is the lunar.
Perfect.
And then the deeper color is that ultramarine blue. And then of course that dusty. I ordered the dusty. I wanted the lunar too. I was kind of up in the air, but I'm loving, I'm so into these nude blushy colors this season. I couldn't resist. I just couldn't. Anyone you get, all I'm gonna ask you to do at this point is just get it home, open that box, and put it on. And touch it. And touch it. The inside is just as soft as the outside. It's approximately 23 inches in length. It's all machine washed, tumble dry. I've never, are you kidding? How great is that? It's wonderful open. I went ahead and shifted up the, you know, the sleeves. And let's talk. It's like a little moto style. Some of the zippers, I love the belt. But yet, it's that feminine feel that you have.
It is. It's still soft.
And not stiff.
It's still, feminine. It's not stiff. What I love about this fabric, because it's stretched, we don't have to cut it kind of oversized and boxy, right? You can wear this true to size, and it's actually slimming. Look at our girls. Look at you, Lynn. It's form-fitting. It fits your shape, and I love these kind of silver, matte silver details. They're really fresh. They're very kind of like ready for spring, but I really don't think you can go wrong with color here. I don't really know that, I mean, there's a wrong decision.
And where are you going to find a color like this? You know, you said if you're going to get something in suede, most likely it's going to be black, or it's going to be brown, or maybe you'll find a light tan. Right?
And if it was a light tan, I'm really afraid to wear it.
Exactly, because you're going to have it stained like crazy, and we're real women.
So these are designed for real women. We create styles that have the polish and the elegance and that sophisticated look to them. I mean, there is nothing about this that doesn't scream luxury. Yes. But in a way that's luxurious because we can wash it and we can use it and we can enjoy it.
You will have this for years. All your LYSSE fashions. This is another reason why I love, love, love the whole philosophy.